Hey hippies, it's Chris from Octopot, here on another Friday to talk about, what else? More Octopot stuff, like our cool swag. We've got some really great deals on our hoodies right now, end of spring, you know you're going to still need them, and for the summer, how about that? Some beautiful tie-dye work. So, I want to take back what I said just shortly ago. We were talking about selling lights and nutrients soon. After a lot of deep introspection, we've decided to wait. We're going to wait until we have experts in those fields before we start selling that stuff. And we're going to just concentrate on what we do best, the growing of the roots and the plant in the dirt and the water part stuff, okay? So, we are bringing back the grid. That's right, underneath this cute little slip, we've got the metal wire, which is the structure for the liner that makes life so much easier. We've made some improvements. Instead of having a big square rectangular piece of fabric that you kind of swirl around, we now have a tube, so it's super easy. So, in addition to the liner that is now a tube, we have handles. So it's easy to lift it up, carry it around, put it in place when it's got dirt and all of that stuff. Put all these new features together and we have a very simple to use, long lasting, easy filling way to hold your soil in the Octopot. So one of the great things about the fabric liner here is it's now a double layer. So a double layer means that there's air in between the fabric on the inside and on the outside, which provides a buffering for temperature, for moisture, and it also keeps that unsightly leachate that forms on the outside of the bag, all your excess calcium and magnesium and salt that's being pulled out of the soil for the good of the plant. It's hard to look at. New growers especially say, ooh, what is that stuff? And we say, it's the stuff that shouldn't be in your soil. So it's a really great aspect of the system is that it pulls the nasty stuff out. And now with the double layer, you don't have to look at it anymore. It's much more stable. Believe me, I know how difficult it can be to have a grow sleeve with soil to stand up just right. So we're going to make that easier for you. It's very stable, and again, you can just like throw soil in there. And as a matter of fact, this was originally designed for automatic filling. When big commercial growers need to fill their soil in nurseries, they don't fill them up by hand. They have a machine that runs through and fills, thousands of them in a day. And that's what this will provide, to commercial growers or to home growers. So what we're going to do now is going to take a break from me, and I'm going to have Octo Holly come in and show you how to put one together.
Hi everyone, it's Octo Holly, and I'm so glad to be here. I'm going to be demonstrating how to assemble the Octo Grid that is now back on the market as of tonight, with our shipping starting on 3/19. So the first thing I want to show you is what comes with the packet if you were to order this system. So either you are going to purchase this grid system as an individual, for those who already have the Octopot system in their possession, which would be the new grid liner, which we'll talk more about in just a moment. You'll receive 2 handles that will require assembly. There are going to be 2 wick braces and the wire grid itself. Now for those that are purchasing this for the first time, you will also receive the wick, the caps for the lid, and the water base. This is a 6-gallon that we are showing here today. I do want you to understand that this is also compatible with the 3-gallon as well. So the same setup, the only difference would be the base change out. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about the grid. Once you receive it, there are 2 hooks on the side where you will actually just easily bring it together and connect. It is important to make sure that this is actually above the wire here. It just helps make sure that it's stable and it will not move. Once you have your fastened on the side, we're then going to take the braces. You just want to place it on there and then press it a little bit to get it to lock in. We'll do the same thing on the other side. It's super easy to assemble. So at this point in time, you now have the two braces in the very center, and you have a solid formation started. Then we're simply going to take the wick and place it in the center of the grid. We will place it down towards the bottom and rest on top of the braces. At this point in time, I'm going to wait to install the handles until it's actually inside of the base, but that's another quick adjustment, and I'll show you that in just a moment. So now what we are going to do, in the base, in the bottom of the base, you have this little section here. So when we're going to set this on top, I'll put the lid back on. When it's time to set it on top, it's important to, at the seam, stress it in a little bit, just so that it easily slides in, and you end up with a nice, firm fit into the base. Go ahead and adjust this wick and center it into position. At this point, you know, to push and to make sure that it's securely in there and that everything is tight. But at this point, you can apply a lot of pressure. It's a very solid unit at this point. So before we utilize the liner, we're now going to place the handles on. The handles are very easy. You're going to start on the outside, and then you're just simply going to push them into the inside, down, pop into place. At this point in time, a quick pinch. And we'll do that as well on the other side. So you're going to go on the outside, then in. Oop. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to go out, and then we're going to go in. And then again, just crimp the handles together. Now at this point, you have two very strong handles that will help make it easy to move the grid and the liner in and out and around as it's needed. So one thing I would like to show you is when we lift it up, you'll be able to see what the structure looks like in the base of the Octopot. Now, since we don't have dirt and weight inside of it, it's all going to come out together. Once the item, or once the pot is actually filled, you would be able to utilize the handles to lift it out of the base. But without having the weight, everything is just snug together in order to provide that stability that we're referencing. So when I pick this up, you can see how the bottom structure is now. There is full support for the wick, as well as the added grid extending all the way to the base. So this is going to allow and offer the stability that so many of our valued customers have been requesting and asking for. So we are excited to bring this back to the market and continue to show you some of the improvements that go along with it. Now I want to show you how we're going to install the liner with our Octopot grid. So the first thing we're going to do is place the liner into the OctoGrid, and then we're going to simply pull down to cover the OctoGrid. We do have handles already pre-fabricated into the liners, so you can see there are handles. That was very, very easy and simple to do. You now have a more aesthetic unit. It's pleasing to the eye, it's functional. We do have the extra benefits by having the double liner both on the inside and the outside. It is now easy for one person to quickly fill their Octopots. We did listen to our consumers. We understand some of the challenges that came along with the actual setting up of their Octopots, especially for first-time users. And as Chris briefly discussed, this is also more functional on a commercial level. It just makes it easier to do. Again, the stability of this unit now is truly amazing.
Ain't that cool? So everything we do is to help you guys grow whatever you want to grow to the best of your ability with as little effort and problem as possible. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you grow well. To K.I. Lay and everybody, grow in peace, dudes.